Subramaniam Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister of the Republic of India, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Vice Prime Ministers, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, namaskar. Welcome to the receptorium of the National Assembly by the Government of India. May I invite the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of External Affairs to simultaneously press the button, please. We shall now proceed with the presentation of the video on the 12 high-impact community development projects. May I invite the PM and the audience to watch the video, please. Thank you. Thank you. We shall now proceed with the fourth segment of our program, dedicated to the exchange of two memoranda of understanding, a letter of exchange, and an exchange of project plan documents. May I invite Ambassador Bisundoyal, Acting Secretary for Foreign Affairs, and Her Excellency, Mrs. Nandini Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius, to the podium to proceed with the exchanges. I have the honor to invite the Honorable Prime Minister and the External Affairs Minister to the podium to witness the exchanges, please. The first exchange is a memorandum of understanding between the Mauritius Institute of Education and the National Council of Educational Research and Training, India, for developing National Institute for Curriculum Research in Mauritius. The second exchange is a memorandum of understanding between the Indian Council for Cultural Relations and the Mahatma Gandhi Institute on ICTR Chair for Sanskrit and Indian Philosophy. The Acting Secretary for Foreign Affairs and the High Commission of India shall now proceed with the exchange of a letter of exchange between the Government of India and Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Digitization of the Indian Immigration Archives. The fourth exchange is a project plan document for India-Mauritius joint satellite between the India Space Research Organization and the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council. I now invite the Acting Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Her Excellency Mrs. Nandini Singla to return to their respective seats. Thank you, Excellencies. We shall now proceed with the fifth part of today's program, dedicated to the handing over of a royalty payment check for the sale of nautical charts in accordance with the MoU protocol on sales of navigational charts. I have the honor to invite the Honorable Manish Gobin, Attorney General, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade of Mauritius, to join His Excellency Dr. S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister, for the handing over of a royalty payment of around 1.3 million rupees. Thank you, Honourable Minister. May I invite you to return to your seat? Thank you. The sixth part of today's ceremony is dedicated to the handing over of Overseas Citizen of India cards to two seventh-generation Mauritian citizens. I have the honour to invite Honourable External Minister Jaishankar to hand over the Overseas Citizen of India cards to two seventh-generation Mauritian citizens, Mr. Diyesh Sharma Yogeshwar and Mr. Devesh Sharma Yogeshwar. This handing over will be done in the presence of the Honourable Prime Minister. Can you please have a picture together? I now invite you to return to your seats. Thank you. We shall now proceed to the last segment of our event, that is the statement to the media. It is my privilege to invite the Honourable Prime Minister and the Excellency Jaishankar behind the lectern for the statement to the media. May I invite the Honourable PM to deliver his statement.
Thank you. His Excellency Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister of the Republic of India, friends from the media. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you once again, Dr. Jaishankar, to our country. This morning, I had a bilateral meeting with His Excellency, Dr. Jaishankar, during which we had fruitful discussions on the future contours of a strategic partnership between Mauritius and India. A moment ago, we proceeded with the inauguration of 12 high-impact community development projects which will benefit the entire population. Following the launching ceremony, we had an exchange of instruments of cooperation which relate to development of a National Institute for Curriculum Research in Mauritius for the Mauritius Institute of Education, the digitization of the Indian Immigration Archives at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, the Indian Council for Cultural Relations Chair for Sanskrit and Indian Philosophy at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, the exchange of a project plan document for India-Mauritius joint satellite between the Indian Space Research Organization and the Mauritius Research and Innovative Council. We also had the handing over of royalty payment check to the government of Mauritius for the sale of nautical charts and the handing over of overseas citizen of India cards to 2 seventh-generation beneficiaries. You will recall that Dr. Jaishankar previously visited Mauritius from 21st to 24th of February 2021, during which a series of cooperation instruments were signed, including the Landmark Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement, SECPA, a line of credit agreement of $100 million between the government of Mauritius and the Exim Bank of India, an agreement to set up a renal transplant unit, and the exchange of letters for the lease of a Dornier aircraft. I also had the pleasure to meet His Excellency, Dr. Jaishankar, during my recent visit to India in June 2024, during which we had the opportunity to take stock of the growing interaction between our two countries. This high-level visit again demonstrates the closeness between our two countries. Moreover, such meetings serve to enhance the enduring relationship and deepen the strategic partnership between Mauritius and India. As you can see, cooperation between the two countries has been wide-ranging and multidimensional. It encompasses technical and financial assistance, infrastructure development, defense and security, as well as economic cooperation and trade. Indeed, our partnership has now gone beyond traditional sectors and covers the full spectrum of state-to-state relations. I wish to recall that since our independence, Mauritius has benefited from the assistance of India on various major projects. The early establishment of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute in Mauritius has contributed in a significant manner to the education and cultural sectors of Mauritius at secondary and tertiary levels. Mauritius has also benefited from other key flagship infrastructural projects, including the Cyber City in Eben, the Swami Vivekananda International Convention Center, the Metro Express project, the new Supreme Court, and development of infrastructure such as the airstrip and the jetty in Agalega Island. In addition to these main projects, Mauritius is grateful to the Government of India for funding no less than 96 community projects in the Republic of Mauritius. These community projects will benefit all our citizens. The Republic of India remains a key partner in the modernization of our medical sector. In February last, we announced that Mauritius would become the first country to join the Jan Aushadhi initiative. This major breakthrough will allow us to source quality made in India generic medicine. India's support was also tremendous during the COVID-19 pandemic. The donation of efficient vaccines allowed our country to vaccinate its frontliners, and this allowed us to enroll our national COVID-19 vaccination campaign. India's support and expertise is also crucial in the training and upskilling of our health staff and also in the setting up of better health infrastructure. In fact, tomorrow itself, we will be in the village of Grand Bois for the inauguration of new state-of-the-art Mediclinic. India is also accompanying Mauritius in emerging sectors, and both our countries are already working together for the joint development of a satellite. A memorandum of understanding establishing framework of collaboration between the Indian Space Research Organization and the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council has already been signed. Once operational, the satellite will relay multispectral imagery, which will provide accurate and targeted data for land and sea surface monitoring. The overall scope of the India-Mauritius Space Cooperation will foster a new era, which will allow for the sharing of data pertaining to our territory, the establishment of an India-Mauritius space portal providing value-added services, and will unlock new avenues for the utilization of space technology by various stakeholders. Mauritius remains committed to maximize the use of renewable energy as laid out in the Renewable Energy Roadmap 2030, and I know we can count on India's support in achieving its objectives. The invitation extended by the Indian Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, which allowed me to represent Mauritius at the 2023 G20 summit held in New Delhi, provided our republic with a high-level platform to voice out its concerns and ambitions regarding the various challenges posed by climate change. You will recall that during the recent visit of Her Excellency President Murmu, it was announced that the government of India would support Mauritius in the redevelopment of the sacred Gangatalao spiritual sanctuary compound into a religious and cultural hub. In that regard, I am pleased to announce that the government of Mauritius has set up a steering committee to devise a set of guidelines and a master plan to develop the sacred place. The government of India will support us in implementing the project. During our bilateral exchanges, we also had very constructive discussions on the importance of the Mauritius-India Double Taxation Avoidance Convention, which significantly contributes to our respective economies. I'm confident that Mauritius and India will continue to work together to ensure the growth of our financial sectors for our mutual benefit. We are also working on other issues of key interest and discussing ways and means for Mauritius and India to take advantage of the vast opportunities under the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement. We wish to deepen collaboration in areas of interest to both of our countries, such as health, biotechnology, and sustainable agriculture. Mauritius looks forward to expanding our partnership with India through the implementation of the following projects: the setting up of an Ayush Center of Excellence, the replacement of water pipes across the island, the grant of 100 electric buses, as well as the finalization of a line of credit for the acquisition of an additional 100 electric buses to Mauritius. I had the opportunity to reiterate our deep gratitude for India's unflinching support to the long-standing struggle of Mauritius to complete our decolonization process so that we can effectively exercise our sovereignty over our entire territory, including the Chagos Archipelago. Thank you.
May I invite His Excellency Dr. S. Jaishankar to make a statement, please?
Thank you. Your Excellency, Prime Minister Praveen Kumar Jagannath, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar and good afternoon. I'm truly delighted to return to this beautiful country, and I'm very thankful to you, Prime Minister, and to the government of Mauritius for the warm welcome and generous hospitality. As the Prime Minister noted, I came here a little more than 3 years ago in very different circumstances. And I want to compliment you, Prime Minister, for your leadership in seeing Mauritius through the COVID challenge, and to the people of this country for the tremendous resilience that they have shown in overcoming what is really a once-in-a-century event. As the Prime Minister noted, there have been many, many achievements in our relationship in the last few years. I don't wish to dilate on them. You saw the visuals of many of them in the video. The Prime Minister himself was gracious enough to highlight some of them. But I can only say this, that India is truly proud to be a partner of Mauritius in your journey towards modernity and progress. Excellency, Mauritius is one of the first countries that I am visiting in my current term as External Affairs Minister. It underscores the strength and depth of our bilateral ties. It is also an opportunity to underline India's unwavering commitment to its special and enduring partnership with Mauritius. Today, I've had the privilege of calling on the Prime Minister. I conveyed the personal greetings and warm regards of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I also told the Prime Minister that the people of India appreciated very deeply his presence as the Modi government was sworn in for the third time last month. At our meeting, we discussed various aspects of our bilateral ties, including the development partnership, defense and maritime cooperation, economic and trade ties, and people-to-people linkages. I reiterated India's consistent and continued support to Mauritius in its quest for progress and prosperity. After all, our ties with Mauritius benefits from 4 Indian priority foreign policy approaches. You are part of our Neighborhood First policy, of our Vision Sagar, of our Africa Forward initiative, as well as to our commitment to the Global South. In addition, we share the closest of bonds from history and kinship. Friends, testifying to these deep-rooted ties, our President Draupadi Murmu visited Mauritius this year as the chief guest of Mauritius National Day celebrations. As announced then, I was honored today to hand over the first Overseas Citizen of India cards to 2 very fine specimens of seventh-generation Indian origin Mauritians. This special carve-out for Mauritius further demonstrates our special and enduring ties. Our relationship today has actually blossomed into a robust and multifaceted partnership. Indeed, it serves as a role model for India's successful development collaboration abroad. The Prime Minister mentioned, and I'm privileged to join him tomorrow, in inaugurating the Medi-Clinic in Grand Bois tomorrow, built with Indian grant assistance, adding to a list of signature projects here. I will also visit another Indian-assisted project, the Civil Service College in Mocha, which will be ready for inauguration soon. We truly take pride that our collaboration changes the lives of ordinary citizens in this country through many community development projects, some of which you had the opportunity to see in the video before us. And these today cover infrastructure in education, in healthcare, in public amenities, and in sports. As you also saw, we have virtually inaugurated 12 of them today, and with this, 37 out of 96 such community projects have become operational in the span of just 1 year. 8 more, I understand, will be inaugurated in the next 2 months in Rodrigues and Agalega. Our discussion on space cooperation, which the Prime Minister touched upon, has also been translated into a concrete project with the exchange of project plan document between India's ISRO and Mauritius MRIC. We look forward to its early implementation so as to launch a satellite for Mauritius. Friends, it was again a great pleasure to hand over to you, Minister, the royalty payment check of 1.3 million Mauritian rupees towards revenues earned from the sale of Mauritian nautical charts produced by our joint hydrography service. This maritime collaboration is now nearly 2 decades old and has added value to our multifaceted cooperation. We are also working together to preserve our shared history. We will support the Mahatma Gandhi Institute in digitizing the documented records of indentured workers, as well as provide training to MGI staff through the National Archives of India. We have also agreed today to renew the term of the ICCR chair in Sanskrit and Indian philosophies at the MGI for another 5 years. As we look at our deep and enduring relationship, Prime Minister, I would like to again assure you today that on the issue of Chagos, India will continue its consistent support to Mauritius in line with its principal stand on decolonization and support for sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations. Excellencies, dear friends, let me conclude by affirming that India remains committed to strengthening of this critical partnership that is so important for the future of the Indian Ocean region. Before closing, I would again like to thank Prime Minister Jagannath and the government and people of Mauritius for giving me this opportunity today to once again experience the special warmth of our friendship. Thank you.
Your Excellency, we have now come to the end of this event. I would kindly request Your Excellencies to remain seated as the Honorable Prime Minister and the External Affairs Minister leave the receptorium.
Thank you.